Environmental Awareness Campaign. Part 3. Alternative Energy. Let's get started. Types of alternative energy. The types of alternative energy are hydroelectric power, wind power, biomass energy, geothermal energy, and solar power. The percentage you see shown is based on 2014 USA ELA data and keeps constantly changing throughout the years. Hydroelectric energy. Hydroelectricity refers to the conversion of energy from flowing water into electricity. In 2015, hydropower generated 16.6% of the world's total electricity and 70% of all alternative energy. Hydropower is produced in 150 out of 195 countries. Hydroelectric power generates about 56% of U.S. alternative energy, which equals to 10% of total U.S. energy. Hydropower makes up 26% of California's alternative energy sources. Wind power. Wind power is the use of airflow through wind turbines to power electricity generators. Wind is an inexpensive source of electricity, which makes it pretty popular. Wind power generates 18% of total world's alternative energy. It provides electricity generation equivalent to 14 nuclear power plants or 52 coal plants in the U.S. Wind power makes up 28% of U.S. alternative energy use. California's wind power makes up 18% of its total alternative energy sources. Biomass energy. Biomass is a renewable energy source not only because the energy in it comes from the sun, but also because biomass can regrow over a relatively short period of time compared with the hundreds of millions of years that it took for fossil fuels to form. Through the process of photosynthesis, chlorophyll in plants capture the sun's energy by converting carbon dioxide from the air and water from the ground into carbohydrates, complex compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. When these carbohydrates are burned, they turn back into carbon dioxide and water and release the energy they captured from the sun. Biomass takes up 10% of global energy use, 12% of U.S. alternative energy in 2014, 26% biomass, and 22% high-tech biofuels in 2016. 27% of the California alternative energy, and it's also the fastest growing alternative energy out there. Geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the heat from the earth. It's clean and sustainable. Resources of geothermal energy range from the shallow ground to hot water and hot rock, found a few miles beneath the Earth's surface, and down even deeper to the extremely high temperatures of molten rock, called magma. In total, globally, there are about 12,000 megawatts in the pipeline, and about 30,000 megawatts of geothermal resources under development. 3% of U.S. alternative energy is made up by geothermal energy, and 12% of California alternative energy is made up from geothermal energy. Solar energy. Solar power uses the sun's energy to produce electricity. Solar power cannot generate electricity at night because there's no sun available to provide it electricity. It is also less effective in overcast conditions. 3.2% of U.S. energy is solar, making up 1% of alternative energy. California, the Golden State, produces 4% of its alternative energy from solar power. Stay tuned for Part 4, Make a Change. I'll see you soon!